Right. He doesn't name any names.
He said there were a lot of ladies, and I was a single man in New York. He says I would get home every day during the week at 3 a.m.
It was a scintillating time, but he doesn't say who was titillating when it came to his gyrating.
But Don, he told us a while ago he did not have anything to do with Twiggy. Why?
She's a little too lean.
Twiggy too lean for me. I love that man.
Let's go to Nick in New Jersey. Nick.
Good afternoon, fellas. Thanks for taking the call. I hope you're doing well.
Same to you.
Thank you. I heard you earlier, Michael, quoting someone who said that if the season ended today, Boone would be manager of the year.
John Heyman.
And yes. And I also heard Don say a couple of weeks ago that perhaps the reason that the AAA players on the Yanks are playing as well is because they have a guy like Boone who isn't as intense as Girardi. I don't agree with that. Okay, I think that if Girardi were still the manager, he'd be getting the same, if not better, results from these AAA players. And the reason I say that is because the AAA players, and I touched on this a previous call, the AAA players are accustomed to being called out when they make a mistake. It's, like if they want to get a whiff at the majors, they can't get thrown out at base 2 days in a row. Okay, and things like that. So I think that Girardi, with a bunch of AAA players, like I said, he would have gotten the same, if not better, results.
Well, Nick, I think the Yankee front office would disagree with you. One of the reasons that they let Girardi go was he did not have anything in common with the young players, didn't listen to their music, didn't understand what was important to them. And I don't know whether this is true or not, but that's essentially the reason. He was not communicating with young players.
And I was not making the statement as fact. I was saying that that's maybe what the Yankees were looking at when they let Boone take over, was that I think he related better with the younger players. And if that's the case, you've got a bunch of young players coming in replacing these veterans because of the injuries, and that might be what the Yankees were looking for. Joe Girardi had a bunch of injuries in 2008, and they kept their head above water. They didn't make the playoffs, but they didn't bottom out either. So I wasn't making the statement. I'm just assuming that's what the Yankees saw in Aaron Boone, that his relationship with the players was important. So if I'm a young guy getting called up, then maybe they feel that Boone will relate to me more than Girardi would have, and maybe that relaxed sensation, that feeling of being relaxed, makes me play better. It's you can't rule it out. And how could Girardi have done better? How could anybody be doing better than what they're doing?
Better. Nobody. What's up, Big Ron?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Listen, first and foremost, kudos goes out to A-Rod, rocking that pink tuxedo last night. Anybody could pull it off. It's him. He would look great in that tuxedo.
I mean, it was it was kind of a regular wedding tux, Big Ron.
Yeah, but it was pink. The jacket was pink.
Oh,
it was a pink jacket.
Are you aware of what the Met Gala is, though? Wearing a pink jacket isn't exactly risque at the Met Gala.
I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Oh.
But let me get to my point. Michael, I have to agree with Don and Peter pertaining to the Peter Alonso thing. First and foremost, the veterans, I really don't think the veterans like Cano or the guys that have been around the block, they have their big fat paychecks. I really don't think they really care that much about winning. It's
then they're sunk. They're sunk.
I know that. I agree with you, but it's pathetic that a young buck like Peter Alonso has to take the bull by the horns and try to make this team wake up and everything. And give that guy credit, because he is going to be a special player, and he's going to be a leader one day. And it's not only the Mets, it's a lot of teams and a lot of sports today. The older guys don't care. They care about their paycheck. These young bucks are the ones that want to win and make a name.
And you know what's interesting, Big Ron? I was thinking about this too, because Michael, you believe it's tough to put a young kid in that spot, but take a look at what they have on that team because of the Paddock story from last night, and the fact that he went